Hello everyone, James Haskell, Jackanory, story time with me once again. We've got a book out, The Good, the Bad and Rugby Unleashed, the perfect present for anybody who enjoys sport, podcasting, humour, close to the bone jokes and laughs, some sadness, some emotion, and the story of three friends coming together to create a podcast, court cases, legal dramas, nervous breakdowns. It's all contained within a page of this. I'll just read you a little extract just to give you a flavour, as it were. The sake was good and worked so well with the beer that around 10 minutes later we had to go through the whole rigmarole again. Lights dimmed, smoke bellowing, swords flying and gongs sounding. Meanwhile, the fat lad on the island kept playing silly buggers. Whenever I ordered a beer, he'd place it on the wooden spatula, hold it out in front of me to take, and when I went to take it, he would move the board and I couldn't get it. That old trick. It was funny. I mean, the other Japanese diners thought it was fucking hilarious. Honestly, for them, it was like the greatest thing they had ever seen. I mean, I laughed the first time. The second time he did it, I even smirked. And by the 8th time, the joke had really worn thin. Half the other diners were on the floor unable to move with laughter, and some of them were pointing at me and mugging me off. Payno was saying, "Breathe, calm down, James, breathe." I was about to dive into the moat, swim over and insert the sake bottle where it hurts into this Rick Waller lookalike's anus, when the chef must have read the room or Payno's imploring looks, which involved him mouthing, "Please, please stop," and giving the chop throat gesture, the international signal to cut it out. As he offered up the beer for me to take on the 9th time of asking, the chef had no idea how close he came to getting a samurai sword through the derby. The food they served up was top drawer. However, in and amongst the good gear, there were some borderline criminal items that appeared to be used to pad the whole feed out, or so I thought. I'd lived in Japan for 8 months and never seen some of the rascal items being served at that night. The issue was that sashimi and yakitori skewers will only fill you up so far, and I was starving hungry. I couldn't stop myself from eating it. Gourmet restaurants are great, but they're not built for the professional grazer. The primary crime against food was something called abalone, which are basically giant sea slugs that taste like slivers of wetsuit. I need half a bottle of Asahi and a couple of sakis just to get me down, just get one down. But I hate wasting food, and there are bloody loads of them on the table. So once I scoffed all the good stuff like sashimi and yakitori and was looking at what else there was, I kept seeing this thing, abalone, and just kept eating it. I have a habit of forgetting who's around me, especially after a few drinks. So I was doing my usual thing of being too noisy and swearing far too much. If you want to hear the rest of the story, buy the book, The Good, the Bad and Rugby Unleashed. It's on Amazon, Waterstones, WH Smith. It's the perfect stocking filler gift. It is funny, it's light-hearted. For those of you who have tried my other books, What a Flanker, Ruck Me, will know the kind of humour and jokes we've got involved in this book. It's 3 different stories told by 3 different people and 3 different perspectives, and also 3 different opinions on each other. Check it out, all the links from my bio, my profile, my stories, and I'm sure I'll put up with a tag that you can comment GBR, and I'll send you the link to the book straight away.